What is going on, guys? Disney, well, not really, actually. It's the guy who's got that company name with a D in it. Dan here. Welcome into the channel. And today is episode 72 of Company with a D Fiasco. And we're going to talk about non-kid friendly things at Walt Disney World. Yes, non-Walt Disney World things you can do. And I thought, you know what? I'll have this thumbnail with Copper from Fox and the Hound here, Jelly Rolls, and two amazing buddies with me to talk about some tongue-in-cheek Disney World adult things to talk about. So, welcome in, everybody. So good to see everybody. I'm going to move everybody around. What's going on? I have two wonderful guests, two friends. Can't wait. Firstly, Steve from Steve's World. What's up, pal? So good to see you.
Good to see you, brother. It's been a while, and glad to be here, especially tonight.
And speaking of long time no see, it's great to be here. David, what's up, pal? So good to see you from Brandy and Dave. You are muted.
I tried to be quiet during this, and Winston was loud. At any rate, Daniel, thank you. This was a blast. Super excited for this. So.
I just heard Brandy say you're muted.
Yeah, she just yelled, "You're muted!" I'm like, all right, great.
I'm muted. I tried to go. I was saying to you guys just before the stream, I was going to try and not say the word Disney for the whole stream, and I failed. It was like the first word. So I'm going to be fined $4,200,000 or something, whatever it is.
That's like £8, right?
Wow, you would think that with the whole Brexit thing going on, but don't get me started. Let's see who's in the chat. Welcome in Samantha Lowe, so good to see you. AJC Magic TV, Zip from Zippity Doo, so good to see you, pal. Shep, what's going on, buddy? D Hazel, Kate Atwood, Brandon from Fantastic Ears, Mike Wheeler is here. So many amazing people here. Thank you so much. Please make sure we're sharing out the stream, hitting that like button, and subscribing to not just my channel, but to my amazing guests, who you guys all know who these guys are. They are wonderful. They are one half of the Dis and That crew. And
we are. You did the math. I'm proud
and let
of
me
you.
tell you something. Look, I was just saying to Steve, Dave. I was just saying to Steve before that it's very hard for me to stay up till like 3 a.m. to catch you guys live.
All right. Yeah.
But this week's episode was phenomenal. So much that I put this show up in my classroom, not in front of my pupils, but I put you guys on my massive projector in my classroom and just sat back and watched and did papers. And I was just like, this is hilarious. Just hilarious. So, guys, if you haven't seen the Dis and That show on Wednesday nights at
9 Eastern.
9 Eastern, which is 4 in the morning UK time. You guys are seriously missing out. It is a phenomenal, hilarious show, especially this week. It was just amazing.
Thank you.
Today is everything non-kid friendly things that we can do at the most magical place on earth. And we are going. The reason why we're doing this is because of the whole big thing that is happening right now with Copper and everything. And I thought, you know what? Let's be tongue-in-cheek. Let's be hilarious and talk about things that kids wouldn't have no idea what's going on, because they'll all be tucked up in bed. Are you doing so am I going to have to be the teacher and yeah, okay. Right. David, what would you like to say?
Did you pull a zip and say copper? COPPAR.
If whenever I say Copper, I'm just going to bring up my thumbnail with Copper on the screen.
Love it.
I think he deserves the attention, and
agreed.
I think, you know what, there was only, that reason to put him on my thumbnail, just so it sends a subliminal message to Carper themselves. Jeff Stalwart Dad is here. Oh, Johns is here. Welcome in, guys. So good to see you too. So let's just we're not gonna talk about Carper today. We're not gonna talk about it because look, everyone is sick to the bones with it. Everyone is frustrated with it. So I thought, let's just have a laugh and talk about adult things we can do at Disney. And as Zip is here, I know Zip is working tonight, but as he's here, let's just kick things off with Jelly Rolls.
Yep.
Why not?
Let's just, it's on the thumbnail. It is, it's one of those top things. Like when you think of adult things to do in Disney World, it is Jelly Rolls over at the Broadwalk. Experiences?
So I've only been to Jelly Rolls once, and I'm pretty sure we redefined the way Jelly Rolls is supposed to go. It was, I mean, we did everything we probably weren't supposed to do. We're filming it, doing everything else. The guys were interacting with us, but look, it might be the most phenomenal thing I've ever done at Disney World. It was that fun trying to stump them with songs from way back when we were growing up, throwing things up there and just listening to those guys. They can play anything. It's crazy. But just getting that whole atmosphere. I mean, there might have been some dancing involved. There was some basketball shooting with wadded up papers. And I mean, it was one of the most phenomenal nights of my life.
Now, if you guys don't know what Jelly Rolls is, Dave, would you care to enlighten the younger viewers? Not that any kids are watching this, because this is a non-kid friendly channel. But could you outline what
is going to be fun on
what the craziness of Jelly Rolls is?
So Jelly Rolls is a dueling piano bar on the boardwalk. It is if you come out of the boardwalk, you go to the left. It's the whole way at the end before Atlantic Dance Club, which I'm assuming we might talk about. So Jelly Rolls it's actually a chain. There's several of them throughout the United States, or at least there were. I think that it's kind of contracted quite a bit. But it is a dueling piano bar, which means there are two live performers in front of you with baby grand pianos that can, like Steve said, literally play anything. They are pretty much out of this world musicians and vocalists. And they take requests, they play songs, and they basically duel, quote unquote, go back and forth, and entertain you all with their ability to play and sing these songs. And a lot of them are, classic I'm going to the bar type of songs. It's a great atmosphere, right? We were there, Steve, on a night where there were like not a lot of people there, and it was still an absolute blast. It really comes down to the group that you're going with to a venue like this. But at the end of the day, it's live entertainment. It's live entertainment at a bar. Let's not talk about drink prices, but it's an absolute blast. And honestly, Zip, who's in the chat, pretty much forced us to do this, talked us into it. I don't know, twisted our arm to go to Jelly Rolls one evening. He didn't twist it that hard. We would have gladly gone, but we made it fun. Totally one of those things where if you're an adult and you're at Disney and you are going out for the evening and you plan on going to the boardwalk area, whether you're hitting up Yachtsman for a nice dinner, or you're going to, I guess Flying Fish for the same thing, or really just chilling out in that Epcot resort area, definitely a place that you can pop into for a cover charge, but enjoy it. It's a really good time.
I think it's one of those places where, if you've had a really long day at the parks and you're exhausted, maybe it's not the best place to go if you've had a really long day. But if you've had like a more chilled out day, and you just want to relax during the day, it is definitely a place to go, like to spend your night when there is that lot of energy in there. I remember going there the third day on my Disney college program, because we weren't allowed in the parks until our Traditions Day. So we had to find other things to do and go to different places. We spent a lot of time at the resorts. So we're like, all right, let's go to Jelly Rolls. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we ended up going, we spent the whole night there. We drank a lot. And all I remember was one of the pianists, he was like, right, I'm going to play the piano with my feet. So he puts his chair back, he sits back, and what he didn't fail to mention was that he was not very good playing the piano. So he just kind of was just hitting the piano with his feet. Because it was just, it's very whimsical, it's very just really hilarious. And the other pianist was just looking over the piano, just like, what are you doing? Like, it was just like such a spur of the moment kind of thing. Mouse Talk, welcome into the stream. Dana Jaworski, so good to see you. RobFuz, Blue Nose, welcome into the stream. Melissa is here. Jeff
so Sherp said that going to Jelly Rolls is kind of like, or how much can you spend at a bar? It's pretty close.
It is pricey. It is certainly pricey.
I have the receipt for it.
Especially if you don't know what you're getting.
But you know what, though? I feel like it's one of those places where it may not be a place that you go every single trip unless you're Zip. Not saying anything bad about Zip, just saying Zip really enjoys that place. But I think for one night, I think it's okay to really just treat yourself to have a really good night, no matter how much it will cost, as long as you don't break the bank. I think it's quite, you will remember that night, the rest of your trip, the rest of your experiences going to Disney. You're like, I remember going to Jelly Rolls, and I remember the pianist trying to play the piano with his feet, and it didn't work. And it's just those memories. And you guys went together, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
So what was the story? If there's a story, is there a story that?
Oh, there's a story
that you could put.
There's a lot of stories.
E.g.
Well, when we showed up, we went. I thought we went kind of early, somewhat early. We tried to keep getting over there,
9:30,
and we kept stopping at other places. But by the time we got there, we paid the cover. We walked in, we sat in the very back, and there was only like 4 or 5 tables that were used, and that's odd for Jelly Rolls, from what I understand, because it's usually packed wall to wall. You got to wait to get in. So we decided to move down front by the front, and we just there wound up being. I mean, some people say there's only 2 people in there. There wasn't. There was still 5 or 6 or 7 tables in there. They would come and go, and we were just there, and we were clearly the spotlight of the audience there because we were the ones interacting with them. We were dancing and singing and everything. But man, just going there, sitting down, playing songs. We were trying to stump them. If they don't know it, they wad it up and throw it across the way to the other guy. Zip had some stuff where they actually sung back to him and put Zippity Doodad in the song title. I mean, these guys are just phenomenal. They play 2 at a time for an hour, then they swap out, play 2 at a time again. But the thing I remember the most, outside of just being together and having a great time, I came up with what I thought was a really phenomenal song, and I wanted to hear the song. It was Africa by Toto. And man, I really just wanted to hear that song that night. And they kept going and then not playing it. And they kept going and not playing it. And they played Zip song, and they kept going and playing all these other songs and never played mine until the last change out when all 4 of them came on stage and they sung my song. So 2 of them sung, 2 of them played piano, and all 4 of them just sung the whole song. And it was pretty incredible. I just had a great time.
I bring the rain down in Africa.
Love that song.
Such a good song. No, it's just that's the thing though. It's all about those memories, isn't it? And I think leading into what the rest of we're going to talk about today, bars is certainly something that we'll bring up. If you want a lively experience, certainly go to Jelly Rolls. It'll be a once, in a lifetime. It's definitely go with your friends for sure.
And Jelly Rolls is basically the experience you're going to get out of it is what you make of it. If you go there just to sit in the back corner and not do anything or have any fun, it's probably going to be that for you.
Yeah.
But not us. We wanted to be the life of the party that night. So,
and if you want, we could sort of just move into on a similar sort of note. If you want sort of a more kid-friendly sort of experience, Yeehaw Bob over at Riverside. Is it Riverside?
Right.
Yeah, Riverside.
Yep.
Is a similar kind of experience. Not so much a bar though, more just like a show almost. Mm-hmm. Where he's been there for years.
Mm-hmm.
He's been there for donkey's years. But that is I've been there. That's just an amazing show. And he's
haven't caught it yet. Honestly, I'm really surprised I haven't. It's on the list.
I've seen it on Corey's live stream, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in person. And I just found out that the meetup that I missed last year in Indiana, Yeehaw Bob was the entertainment that night.
Oh, no way!
Here in Indiana for some reason. I don't know how they got him here, but
no, they did. The Dads meetup or the Disney meetup or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's definitely a must. Like you got to put down for a nice late night. Just experience amazing. I think someone who knows that all too well is Dana. Dana loves going there, and she's been there with like Corey and Dev, and so definitely a must do. Go to see Yeehaw Bob. Right. Let's see what other ideas we have. Like, Steve, do you have any ones that are on top of your head of things that you would do that are not really for kids at Walt, beginning with the D world?
Well, there's this thing called Drinking Around the World.
Oh, yeah.
That involves the different countries of Epcot and some beverage intake abilities of the alcoholic variety.
Conveniently, you come up with the one that involves drinking.
And I've never done it.
Of drinking.
Yeah, and I have never done it. So, yeah, it's just something that I'm maybe one day. We'll see how it goes.
The one who's consumed how many gallons of Beverly is the one who's bringing up the consumption of alcohol around Epcot's World Showcase.
Yes, I did not catch the irony of that, but I do now. But no, it is. It's something that's going to be on my list, I think, to do. I guess you got two different kinds. You got a wine tasting around the world, and then you have the drinking around the world. And
that's a completely different thing. That's on my list.
Okay, let's just start with drinking around the world then, because you go from
that is an
one country to the other.
Disney thing.
Yeah, you go from one country to the other. Yes,
the D word. The thing is, if you chose a wine around the world, like Food and Wine, that's going to just knock you out. That's a lot of wine.
Yeah.
Right, I'll ask this then for both of you. Do you start off in Mexico with tequila or a margarita, or do you go to Canada for beer? Which way do you start?
It depends if I want to be sick first or sick last. Because tequila's not going to be the answer.
See, I would want to be sick first, because then that is out of my system, and then I can enjoy the rest of my journey.
That would be my philosophy too, but I always go to Canada first. No matter, not for drinking around the world, but I just always go to Canada first.
No, you're wrong.
No, I'm right.
You're 100% right. But the rule is, when you go to Disney World and the entire crowd goes right, you go left. So you always start in Mexico. The issue with starting in Mexico is that if you get a margarita outside, you're fine. If you go into La Cava, I hope you got there at 11 a.m. because you're not leaving till 3, and then you're continuing around the world. So I don't think there's a wrong way to do it at all, Steve. I think that there's a way to go right and have your pints and then work your way up to a couple glasses of wine and then a tequila or a margarita in Mexico.
And I've never done it. So somebody be clear on the rules here. I guess it really doesn't matter as long as it's an alcoholic beverage. It doesn't matter whether it's wine, cocktails, or whatever.
Yep.
Because tequila no. Just no.
The thing is, it's going to be even more difficult if you went Mexico and then your second to last drink would be Guinness, because you can't get anything else in the UK apart from Guinness.
Well, that's it.
That is a heavy drink right there.
So we had one of those. It had the little ball thing in it when we opened the can.
Ball thing.
Did not care too much for that beer. That was rough. I like them light and airy. I'm a lightweight, so
many comments.
So maybe I should start that way first. Then I don't know.
So great. My thing is with drinking around the world, I don't think it matters which way you're going, because you're basically having 11 alcoholic drinks. If you really go to Mexico first and you don't want tequila, you can grab one of the many Mexican beers that they have there and then continue around. And honestly, it's not that bad, because you could theoretically go beer in Norway, beer in China, beer in Germany, and then you can get into a wine or something later as you get beyond that. I frankly don't think it matters which way you go. It just depends. If you are a tequila fan or a margarita fan, as myself and Brandy are, you could easily get stopped in Mexico, and only because you go in and instead of getting a drink at the La Choza outside, you go into La Cava del Tequila, which frankly is the better way to go. And even if you get it to go, the jalapeno margarita is out of this world, or Diablo margarita, which I think they changed the name to. But you can get sucked in there, and it's 100% one of those places where if you walk in and say, we're going to sit down and get some chips and salsa and cheese. And it's one of the best things you can get in World Showcase personally. So
hold on. I would say it's one of the best places to get in the whole of WALT, beginning with the D world.
Yeah, exactly. I agree 100%. So, but it's a place that you can get stuck. So I kind of agree with Steve, where if you go right and go around and then end in Mexico, whether you have just the beer because that's where you're at, or I'm here and blah, 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 I'm going to have tequila because I don't care at this point because I'm 10 drinks in. So, but the chips and salsa and the guacamole is Brandy's favorite. Like literally, I think it might be her favorite guacamole ever.
That's what I'm gonna say. When you're me, it doesn't matter which way you go, because after the second country, Shep's gonna be carrying me the rest of the way anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
I can see like you for some weird reason. I can see like a weird image in my head where all four of you are dressed up, and Shep is got you, Steve, in a wheelbarrow with a drink in hand.
Yes,
and just like going around World Showcase, so just like I want whatever in whatever pavilion, a beer in Mexico. I want. I could just see that like you four just like, and then you
like an adult stroller for Steve and the rest of us going to town.
Yep. Adam said he would start in Mexico with a beer, go around the world, and then tequila when he makes a second lap around the world.
if there's anyone who I know that could drink just continuously around the world, it's Adam from Adam's Life.
For real.
I just I'm calling him out now. I'm sorry.
And I made Shep swear on everything that's holy. Whenever we're together and I drink, he has to make sure I don't do anything really bad, and he's got to take care of me. So,
but you know what? It is hilarious when you like go to Mexico or go to Canada and you see those like groups of people who are completely out of it, and you're asking yourself, how have they not been kicked out of the park yet?
Yeah. And then
because there's at least one or two people that are corralling it, and even though they're quote unquote out of hand, someone's taking care of it. So Disney doesn't really push that. So
Courtney Rainwood says my favorite drink is a Virgin Shirley Temple Sprite and cherry juice. My second favorite would be a Virgin Pina Colada. Nice. See, I don't drink alcohol anymore, but like I could easily do a food challenge around the world or a mocktail around the world or something like that. But like you can still have a good time anyway. But when you watch your friends drink around the world, it's definitely a non-kid friendly thing to do that you can do. This is something for your stag do's. Like this is something for, your mate's getting married. Let's have a good time. Let's just something.
Well, the funny thing is I think the last time Brandy and I were there as a family, not just Brandy and I, we were there as a family. I think we probably saw on Friday afternoon through the evening and Saturday afternoon through the evening, I don't know, half a dozen bridal parties that were there for the bachelorette party, drinking around the world. And I mean, first of all, there's a lot worse places you can go for a bachelor or bachelorette party than going to D World. Kind of is what it is, I guess, at least I've never been at Disney World. I'm sorry, D is the world.
Beginning with a D and ending in a Y world.
D and ending with a Y world. Star. And actually seeing anyone get approached to the point that they're like, yeah, you gotta bounce. Like, I've seen some very non-sober people at Disney, but I haven't seen it to the point where there needed to be any intervention. So which Disney intervention should be a show on Disney Plus.
De-intervention on Disney.
Right? D-plus intervention.
Speaking of Disney interventions, one way of arguably you could drink while having fun is golf.
Yes!
As all fellow golfers, I believe, something that I feel like when you go to Disney World, beginning with the D World,
Yes.
Kids tend to want to go to the parks, and
not be good at
sometimes
golf.
adults would want to spend their time on a golf course. And let me tell you something. We actually were planning this, Dave, weren't we? But we didn't
Yes,
get we just
were trying.
the timing just didn't work it out. But let me tell you something. Whether it's the golf or the mini golf, or I'm putting in like other things you can do, activities apart from going to the parks. That's what my main thing is.
Splitsville is another good one.
Going to Splitsville, going
We can
fishing.
lump this all together. Yeah, fishing.
Going fishing. The water sports. So, what's his name? Sammy Duval's water sport thingy from the Contemporary. Like all these extra stuff that you can do outside of the parks is certainly something. Like you could go to Disney. Sorry, beginning with a D in Florida, and
ending in a Y.
Ending in a Y, and not go to the parks and just spend your time like doing so much. Like I'm gonna make it a mission next time I'm in Florida. I am going to go to one of the golf courses.
Nice.
You should. Call me.
I'm not sure what I do is considered golfing, but I like to take my clubs and hit the ball around.
Well, the fun thing is, Steve, is that you can take that same type of attitude and go to one of the mini golf courses.
Yes.
And honestly, the Fantasia Gardens one, there's two. It's like Fantasia Fairways.
There's the Winter Wonderland one.
Yeah, there's Winter Summerland. And that's over by
Blizzard
Beach. And there's a couple courses there. Then there's Fantasia Gardens and maybe Fantasia Fairways.
Over by the Swan and Dolphin, isn't
exactly.
it? Yeah.
Swan, Dolphin, Boardwalk, that whole area. There's a course there that it's kind of like you're playing putt-putt on a real golf course where there's sand and water and all that. It is a hard course. It is the hardest course in the U.S. for mini golf. So it's not easy, and long and short of it is you can take the thought process around going and playing 18 holes and actually enjoy it as a family. I'm sorry, as a non-family. We're non-family tonight, right? So, no, but you can go to one of these mini courses or mini golf courses and have a similar experience. If it's you and the boys just going there and saying, we're a foursome, we're gonna go play this. So.
And let me tell you something. Like going to these like mini golf courses or going to play real golf, especially when you're at beginning with a D, ending in a Y, like you are completely out of the madness. Like it's weird that you go to all these parks where there's thousands of people surrounding you, and then you go to these golf courses and there is like no one, and it's peaceful and it's relaxing, and all you're thinking about is your next shot. You don't have to worry about, your flight home or where I'm going to be drinking tonight or what my fast passes are, anything like that. It's just so like therapeutic. Disney intervention, how I've linked it all together because, we're geniuses. But yeah, it is kind of such an awesome way to just have fun with your mates or do like a girls' day or something, whatever. Without the kids. Girls can go to the spa if they wanted to. I'd say boys can go to the spa as well, but I think it's more of a girls thing. But just put your kids, send them to the parks. They're not going anywhere. They're going to be in the parks. They're fine. And then go and play golf.
Zip loves spas.
Yes.
Zip into spas.
He is. Yeah, like I love golf. I love to golf. It's just I'm really terrible at it. But mini golf, that's a whole different story. It's all trigonometry to me, and it's all about banks and angles and things like that. And we actually built a trigonometry. We built a mini golf course in my trig class. So have you got
a world heavyweight championship for mini golfing as well?
I will next year when we do the challenge. Dale's the only one that scares me, and by now, people ought to know that.
He said the same thing about whatever for the Beverly Challenge, and I'm the only one that ended up scaring him at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, you finished fourth, but yeah,
I finished fourth.
It's still of the Dis and That crew. Yes, I did not expect you to do as well as you did because you ate and drank everything that was in sight that morning.
I did,
and then
I food and wined the crap out of it. It is. I win.
And speaking of which, another thing that you can do as an adult is to do these challenges that we do because you don't want to do them as a kid.
Be an idiot. That's what it can
be. An idiot, yes.
Yep. Because that's the time in our adult lives where you can do something stupid and get away with it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Whereas if you're a child, you're not going to get away with it
Mm-hmm.
because you'll get into trouble and get grounded. Whereas we don't need to ground ourselves because we can have fun.
Well, and the nice thing is, too, there's always transportation to get you back to where you may not tell them the right destination. You may get on the wrong bus, but there's always transportation to get you somewhere where you don't have to where you have to go. And Dave or Shep says, "I'm not an idiot. How dare you?"
I'm not an idiot. How dare you? I have a question.
Shep, we mean it in a complimentary way. We are saying we are all positively idiots in our own way, where we can get away with anything that we would like to do.
Or immature. Immaturity works too.
Yes, we are immaturely mature in our own way. Exactly. So we talked about jelly rolls, talked about drinking around the world, talked about spending time away from the parks. I'm gonna throw it out there. Let's do Disney Springs because I think that's the obvious. So
especially after hours.
Especially after hours, right? Let's just knock off all the ones that you could do after hours. Splitsville, yeah, agreed.
Yep.
House of Blues.
Agreed.
You can go to the Raglan Road Irish pub. Definitely.
I would say from what I see, is it the Edison that has the burlesque dancers? I would say that's not kid friendly.
That is not.
Edison after hours, so 10 p.m. on.
10 p.m. on. Yeah. I think it's selected nights though.
Yeah, plus Enzo's Hideaway, which is the bar underneath the road.
Enzo's Hideaway. You could throw in like other restaurant bars as
Hangar
well.
Bar. Homecomings Moonshine Bar late night.
Oh,
so good.
That is good.
And what about just any of the nightlife? The musicians playing the
Wine Bar George.
Wine Bar George. You could put in things like Paradiso 37. They've got music going on there sometimes. Yep. What else? Planet Hollywood? No, that's definitely more.
Not really.
No. Wolfgang Puck is more of an adulty restaurant, I feel.
Right, yeah, but same thing with like Boat Ride and STK. Boat Ride, STK, Paddlefish, all that later in the evening is again more adulty. Yeah. So
definitely not T-Rex. Definitely not. Definitely not Rainforest Cafe.
Right.
I don't get me started on how much I hate the Rainforest Cafe, dude.
Right. Don't get me started either. No. So like for me, the quote unquote adultish bars, Hangar Bar, Wine Bar George, Splitsville later in the evening. It's a great place to go family wise earlier in the day, but later in the evening, I mean, you're getting a lot of parties. You're getting a lot of events at this point where it's more business focused. And then you got House of Blues, which there's shows all the time, and it's not necessarily kid friendly.
No.
There's a bunch of places at Disney Springs that really do make it an adult attraction, not just for people coming on vacation, but locals also.
And definitely one of my favorite places, especially as a guy. I'm just putting out there the one who has a nice beard going, the shaving place.
Yeah, that place looks awesome.
That is. I'm not even kidding you. I love like products for my beard. I go in there. I'm just like, I want that because I want to make it like it's really cool. And I'm
awesome.
Just saying it, kids. There's no point you guys going in there because there's nothing's happening. Like
unless you're that kid, that 14-year-old that played on the AAU team from New York a few years, or baseball team, whatever it was, and he was, I don't know, he came from another country or something, and he was like 19, but they tried to pass him off as a 14-year-old. He had a full beard on when he was pitching in these little leagues. So, outside of those kids.
Yep.
Get all Robert De Niro on it.
Yes.
So yeah, Disney Springs for sure is. I definitely think it's more when the kids start getting like really tired and they all start leaving. It's definitely when it really comes alive during the nighttime.
Right.
And that's when like Pleasure Island was there and they had those like Disney clubs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I wish they still had sort of like that Disney club sort of experience, but like away from, not from like Disney World property, but like just an exclusive area just for adults and stuff.
Well, they said they apparently changed it up because it was drawing the wrong crowd, and they didn't think it fell into the D Company montage of what they were all about. So, but I loved it.
It's understandable. It is understandable, but
I get why they did it.
Yeah, but look, we have Jelly Rolls. We have like other places that we can go to in replacement of that.
Oh yeah,
but
there's, and I don't know, Dan, where you're going, but like there's a whole slew of in-resort lounges that later are.
Right, let's just talk about lounges. Like I've waited like
just in general,
35 minutes.
I thought this was going to take the majority of the episode, so. I wasn't pushing it.
I gave us a good 25 minutes now to talk about our favorite lounges now. Because to be fair, we've already done sort of a similar topic recently, but
doesn't matter. I wasn't on that show.
And yeah, I know, right? But and Patrick just brought up the one that I wanted to talk about first because Zip knows like all of us, and that's Nomad Lounge.
Yeah, buddy.
By far my favorite lounge at Disney right now. Oh, so good. Just completely away from the madness. You're thrown in. It's just you feel like that jungle environment, but you're away from the crowds. The food is amazing there. The drinks are great. The chairs. I was sitting there for a good 3 hours, just on my own, just lounging out.
Oh, super comfy.
Oh,
I've never been to Nomad,
dude. Oh my god, you gotta go. The sliders. Oh,
not just the sliders, but the impossible sliders are. The veggie sliders are better than the regular sliders.
See, I've only had the regular ones, and they're good as well.
No, we had them both side by side. They were so good.
And the churros, dude.
Churros are okay.
Churros, and I
the
had
bread service is not Sanaa, but it's decent.
Still good.
The charcuterie and cheese plates are out of this world. So good.
Yeah.
The real kicker with Nomad is that you can actually order off the Tiffin's menu.
Yep, and it's cheaper, I think.
Isn't there a bread service there?
There is.
Yeah.
It's not as expansive, but it's solid.
It's not as good as the Sanaa bread service. Nothing is ever as good as the Sanaa bread service because in my mind that is heaven right there. But it's still decent. Like it's still, you'll still get your money's worth. It's still enjoyable. But my thing every time I go there is the iced tea. The iced tea there is just, I don't know what they do to it. Is just amazing. I feel refreshed every time. And like it's not just iced tea you get at all these lounges. It's different. Definitely a must get as well. So if you're not drinking that day,
I have not. I mean, lounge wise, I mean, I've never been into one just to lounge around. Just not done it.
Right.
I don't even know if I've been in any, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you have.
Which one? I mean, Oga's Cantina. I don't know if you count that as a lounge.
Oga's, and then you were at the night before. You were at Trader Sam's.
That's a lot. You can okay. So I don't know if that
Trader Sam's.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know what's considered a lounge then.
And then later that evening, you were at Ale and Compass Lounge.
Okay. See, then yes, I have been to lounges. I just didn't know that. I guess I didn't know what a lounge was considered.
So Veronica Jude says, "I love the lounges. Get Ohana bread service at Tambu or the bread service at Cruise Cup. Cruise Cup, I haven't been to in a long time. I usually
Tambu
go
Lounge though.
Tambu is fantastic. I usually go around to Ale and Compass because Ale and Compass has the lobster roll that used to be at Cruise Cup Lounge.
Yeah,
not anymore.
Tambu Lounge though. That is where it's at though. It's so good.
Well, you get the Ohana bread, and you can get the Ohana banana pudding, and you get the Ohana wings.
The wings are the best.
The wings are fantastic. So you can do that. I think they do a good job of it. So
yeah,
I enjoy that. I think that they missed personally whenever they redid the bar, and they just said, "Oh, we're going to make it a little more accessible for our people that work there." I think that they could have made that space a little, a little more useful, I guess. But to each their own. It's a solid place no matter what. Love Tambu. It's a great alternative when you're in the Polynesian for Trader Sam's downstairs.
I love the wings though.
Wow. Wings are out of this world, and you can't get those wings anywhere else but Ohana right now.
Other lounges, Sonar Lounge, of course. Just, it's not even like the biggest lounge in the world. It's just it has the bread service that is just it's like I would go all that way. Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village is miles away. Like it's really far away from like everything. But it's worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
It is so worth it. And now, are we going to the new Beauty and the Beast?
Nope.
Grand Fleur. Oh, okay. No. Why not?
That's the one I want to go to the most.
Because it's not Misner's. And there's a $25 old fashioned. It is egregious. With that said, I'm going to love it next time I go there. But seriously, I'm really mad about it right now. I loved Misner's. Absolutely loved Misner's.
Okay, hold on. Is it Misner's or Meisner's? Because I thought it was named after Michael Eisner.
No, it's named after Misner, which was a large player in the railroad and the large hotel boom in Florida on the East Coast. So it's named after Misner. Whether that pronunciation is 100% true, it has nothing to do with Michael Eisner.
It's just ironic that one of Disney's CEOs was Michael Eisner.
Exactly. So here's my thing. Whatever you want to call this bar at D whatever Y World, in the Grand Flow whatever Idion. Any rate, the drinks there, the bartenders were fantastic, and the drinks there were made so well. It was one of the best dirty martinis I've ever had. It was one of the best Manhattans I had on property. And the costing was reasonable, but what you got out of it was 100% solid. So there was a ton of value there. Plus, it wasn't crazy busy. You could go in there and order a beverage and go out and sit in this one little alcove with some couches. And we would do it as a family, even though I know this isn't really a family-focused stream, but we would go there and do that and then hang out and listen to the Grand Floridian Band or the piano or basically just take in what the Grand Flow had to offer.
Yeah.
And Misner's is gone now. The Enchanted Rose is going to be a destination. And I was kind of okay with it until I really saw what the bar menu was, and I was just flabbergasted with the amount of money they are asking for some of the stuff that they're putting out there. Don't get me wrong. Like I say, it's a $25 old fashioned, but it has 10-year Whistle Pig rye whiskey in it, which in Pennsylvania is a $92 bottle of whiskey. It's not cheap. I get it. Right. But what the heck are you doing? Like for real? $25? This is dumb. In the fact that there are a bunch of dads that are going there and their wife and daughter are across the Grand Flow at the brand new Bippity Boppity Boutique getting their hair did, and he's going over there for a drink. For real, Disney.
You got a question?
Yeah.
People are still going and paying that money. I don't think.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that they aren't. I get it. But
you know what it is? It's convenience.
Mm-hmm.
It's what it is.
It's not like that convenient.
Well, no, the thing is, like, if they know their daughter's getting made over the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, they're like, right, they'll be like, right, I couldn't really be bothered to travel anywhere where I could just get it, like, a few steps from me. But I don't think you're right. Some people don't really realize that there is a difference in terms of price. But hey, you know what? It's convenient for them. They can go and get a drink and enjoy themselves. And
Veronica said I don't complain about prices often, but the bar is way overpriced to me. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I understand that I'm at Disney, and I understand that an old fashioned is going to cost between $16 and $20 when it comes to whatever. I just don't understand why they went at the drinks that they're pushing. They went at the very high end, focused on craft cocktails, right? Like they're $25 to $27 table side cocktails that they make. And I'm only focusing on that. Now, don't get me wrong. You can go and get a random martini for $15, which is, on property standard. But
Yeah.
I know that they're not showing them that off the bat. They're saying, "Hey, why don't you try an old fashioned?
Yeah.
It's our house specialty." And then the dad's sitting there and has 3 of them, and it's an $85 bill after tax. I think that it is.
Well, Disney know how to market their drinks,
I agree.
Which is a similar sort of rant that you're having in which a rant that I had about bottled water.
Exactly.
So, but
100% true.
It's exactly the same. It doesn't matter if you're paying a $20 glass of margarita or a $5 bottle of water, where you can get one for much cheaper or one for free. Bottled water should not be paid for at Disney. You should get it for free because it's free.
I agree, and it's the same thing. Like, if you didn't just walk across the lobby because it's the only bar that you saw, and you knew that there was a pool bar outside that you could go to, and get an old fashioned made for like $14 as opposed to the $25 one upstairs, and take it back in, you win. But like I thought that this thing was going to be 100% themed Beauty and the Beast. It looks like they just redid Mizner's and added a room. Like I get the whole live action Beauty and the Beast like tone they were going for, but with that bank of windows, like for me, Beauty and the Beast has to have some semblance of a dark overtone.
But here's the thing: like they couldn't bring any of the actual sort of set pieces from the movie to that resort. One, it wouldn't work, and two, you have it up the road at Magic Kingdom at Be Our Guest.
Agreed.
Two, which is kind of what they I feel are going for, is more they wanted a mature theme for adults, but they almost tried too hard. Do you think? Yeah. I think they really they overdid it, where I feel like they're like, oh, we're just gonna re-renovate Meisner's. Just keep it as Meisner's, because it wasn't a bar that needed like a name change. It just needed an update.
It didn't even need an update.
Yeah.
That's just me. I mean, I think they were trying to play off it and expand it when they knew that there were going to be a bunch of people there who may want to drink. Hence, fathers. Dave's going grumpy old man, says my wife. So you're right. I mean, my thing is at the end of the day, like the Grand Flow for us as a family is a place we like to visit.
Yeah.
We've stayed there. I don't think we're going to do it again because we felt out of place.
It's definitely more of a special occasion sort of resort.
Yeah.
Like if you're on your honeymoon, or if you're getting married, or it's an anniversary, or a big birthday.
I wear a lot of Travis Matthew, but I don't wear a lot of Vineyard Vines and Polo, and I felt like I didn't fit in.
I only knew one of those brands.
Which one?
Polo. Oh no, wait. Vine, the one with the whale.
Yeah, it's the whale.
That's it. That's because everybody where I worked in New Hampshire was wearing that. That reminds me. Yeah. Because we don't have those brands in the UK because we're not, fashion conscious. Well, actually, we are. But
I'm obviously not fashion conscious.
No, neither am I. I'm wearing a lifeguard shirt.
Yes.
Lifeguard.
Nice.
But yeah. No, that was really off topic.
Way too much on Enchanted Rose. So let's get to the places that we actually want to go.
Right, Steve. I feel like you've been
Steve's like
hiding underneath the tree.
Of all the lounges that I want to see, it's the Enchanted Rose. So,
oh god,
and the ones over. I also want to see the Nomad as well. But
Nomad's amazing.
I'm excited to see the Enchanted Rose. I really am.
Dave, you got to take Steve to Nomad and have just.
I will gladly take him to Nomad. I'll honestly, I'm going to end up at Enchanted Rose, and as Brandy has said to me 1,000 times when I go off on this grumpy old man speech that she was talking about, she's going to be like, "You're going to walk in and love it." And I'm like, probably.
Yeah.
Like. I get it.
To me, you sound like one of those people that's mad that the great movie ride's gone. That's what you sound like.
Well, I'm 100% mad that the great movies ride gone.
For me, it needed an update. It needed an update or a revision, and it got it. Misner's has been there forever. It needed an update or revision, and it got it.
And I'm fine with that. But here's the deal. Mickey's Not So Scary Railroad, whatever they're going to call it, isn't going to cost you $25 a ride on top of what it costs.
I don't know. Have you seen the cost of tickets?
Ladies and gentlemen, for the third week in a row on Disney Fiasco, I've lost control of my show.
I give up. No, I get it. But like, I understand value, and I understand that you're paying for value, and I understand that you're paying for a higher value, especially at a place like the Grand Floridian. I've always been okay with that. I've always been okay with going to Narcoossee's and dropping 140 on the two of us on just the entrees. Like, I get that because you've chosen to go there. I think that what they've put out as an option at Enchanted Rose it doesn't fit. Yeah. It doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It fits the clientele that are going to be there, because anyone that's going to actually spend $728 a night for a 5-day vacation at the Grand Flo is not going to blink twice at a $25 cocktail because they're from DC or New York or wherever where that's standard. But for the rest of the world, where an $18 to $22 cocktail is like super high end and it's a $25 standard cocktail, doesn't
add up.
It doesn't add up. And it doesn't even add up to the new Disney, like we're going to focus on 80% of our business on the 20% of the people that can actually pay to do X, Y, and Z. It doesn't even fit to that. We're talking like top 8 to 5%. Like, I get the math, and I know that I'm coming off as a grumpy old man right now, as Brandy just said as she was walking, and you probably heard on the microphone. Anyway, I get it. But like, I'm not trying to be that like too expensive guy. I'm not. I'm being real.
You're the guy that takes 400 minivan rides every trip.
No, I agree. I 100%.
You get 2 drinks for that.
I know it. I know that that's not a value. I get that, but that is I understand that value in relationship to our family. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. I don't get where that's the base. It's one thing to walk into a place and say, I'm going to have Macallan 25 and it's $170 a dram. I get that because it's your choice. Like I'll shut up.
You're paying for Grand Floridian prices is what you're doing.
Yeah, but
you're paying for the Grand Flo, and
you get it. To the pool bar and you're spending half that.
But that's the thing, though. You don't have to go to the Enchanted Rose.
Yeah, because Belle sucks. What?
Just want to let everybody know.
I don't want.
You can get water for free at Walt Disney World. There you go.
Yes.
Right. Very, very quickly.
And at the Enchanted Rose.
And at the.
You can't do the Enchanted Rose. They charge you $87 for a plastic cup. I don't know if that's true. I'm just
right. Very, very quickly before we start wrapping up. Straight after this stream, Walt from Mouse Talk Partner Channel will be going live to talk sports night with. Nope.
We're going live, but we're not going to be talking. Right. We're not going to be talking sports, though.
Not going to be talking about sports, but it's all about this
we're
guy.
We're going to have some fun tonight.
This guy, Steve from Steve's Odd, will be with Walt straight after this stream. And tomorrow, Star Wars Sunday, it will be myself, Walt from Mouse Talk, and Charlie from the Disney Nerd Herders talking about Return of the Jedi. So come back tomorrow for Star Wars Sunday. Very, very quickly, as we start wrapping up.
Is that 4, Daniel?
4 Eastern.
4 p.m.
Yeah.
Eastern. Yes. Yeah. Yes. That's the one. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Right. It's not Return of the Jedi either. It's The Force Awakens.
I thought you were too close to the new one to be able to.
See, I got too caught up with both of you like ranting about like
both of
Enchanted Rose, and I've just completely lost it. Right. I want to ask before we head off. What is the most non-kid friendly adult ride at Walt, beginning with a D World, that there is? I'll start off with Mr. Enchanted Rose himself, Dave? Don't shake your head. I'm starting with you. Non-kid-friendly.
Kid-friendly ride, living with the land.
He's honestly not wrong.
He's not wrong there.
It's educational. Kids don't want that.
It's like, screw this. I want to go in Tower Terror. What the heck are we doing right now? We could have been in line for Soren.
I don't think you can even beat that one. Steve?
Man, I would say Haunted Mansion, but I think the kids love that. So I'm going to go with Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah.
Because it goes upside down. Most of the kids are too scared to go upside down.
I was either thinking Rock and Roller Coaster or Mission Space Orange. Like
Mission Space Orange, yes.
What K-Out would put in the
I'm sticking with Living with the Land, man.
Living with the Land, I think, is a definite winner right there.
Yeah.
Like, that is just like, if you have like ADHD or something, you cannot, you've got to fidget like on that ride.
It's like, come on, kids, let's go on this. We're gonna look at plants.
Well, one more too is actually dinosaurs scares a lot of kids.
Yeah,
being completely in the dark. And my niece, I always just go back to the ones my niece would grab me and stick her head in my shoulder so she didn't have to look at. So
I think Walt just
Walt with the whole of Presidents. That is a good option right there as well.
Yeah, Walt wins.
Or the Liberty Square Riverboat.
No, I've never done that. I've never done that.
Like, you're on a boat.
Don't you have to
I'm
take
on
that
a boat.
Yeah, well, let's not go there. Dolphins doing flips and
Right, guys, we are going to head out. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by on this very much copper, get it, Carper from Fox and the Hound, tongue-in-cheek inspired fiasco show. Right now, I want you just to make sure we head over to Walt from Mouse Talk, who's going to be going live with Steve on Sports Night, but not talking about Sports Night. It's going to be talking about something Disney related. But please go check out Walt from Mouse Talk partner channel, friend of the channel. And also after that, not only is Shep from the Shep family going to go live tonight as well, but also Josh from Resort TV 1, also friend of the channel, is live at Disneyland. So please go check that channel out, Resort TV 1 as well. Episode 72 is in the books, and beginning with a D, ending in a Y fiasco, we'll be back next week for episode 73. And hopefully this whole Carper thing is sorted and dealt with and whatever. But thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please make sure you check out my partner channels, Mickey's Magic, Corey Fiasco, RobFuz, and Mouse Talk. A big, massive thank you to Steve from Steve's World. Thank you so much, pal. It's always a pleasure having you.
Thank you, man.
Always.
It's an honor to come on this show, and I appreciate it.
Honor's all mine. And of course, my lounge foodie brother, David.
Dan, we need to talk about when you're coming back over, because the last time you were over, we did not get to lounge it as much as we wanted to lounge it.
I will let you know, and we will do a time and a lounge night. Oh.
Lounge cast, baby. Lounge cast.
Why don't we just set up like a segment of just like, let's just talk about a lounge a week.
I'm down. I'm not going to say no. I mean, I love it. But Dan, thank you so much. Love being on Disney Star Y Fiasco. It is it's the hottest Disney Star Y Fiasco.
It doesn't do any good when you say Disney Star.
Just shut it down. Daniel, love you, man. Thank you so much for having me on. Appreciate it 100%.
Of course. Thank you so much. Guys, you can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram as well at DisneyDan. And yeah, guys, I would say live your life with a smile each and every day, but that's too childlike. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys all next week and enjoy another week of ranting about copper. See you next week. And yeah, bye.
Live your life with